Morning everyone, welcome to Friday's Thought for the Day. And today I'm going to be speaking on joy in serving. When I thought of serving, I thought of the story of Martha and Mary. And I'm going to read it to you now from Luke 10:38 to 42. As Jesus and the disciples continued on their way to Jerusalem, they came to a certain village where a woman named Martha welcomed him into her home. Her sister Mary sat at the Lord's feet, listening to what he taught, but Martha was distracted by the big dinner that she was preparing. She came to Jesus and she said, "Lord, doesn't it seem unfair to you that my sister just sits here while I do all the work? Tell her to come and help me." But the Lord said to her, "My dear Martha, you are worried and upset over all these details. There is only one thing worth being concerned about. Mary has discovered it, and it will not be taken away from her." Jesus' fame had spread, and by the time Martha welcomed him into her home, he would have had a large number of disciples and followers. As many people as possible would have packed themselves into and around the house, anywhere to be taught by Jesus. But Martha wasn't one of them. She was far too distracted. She was probably thinking, how am I going to carry enough water and prepare enough food for everyone? No slipping off to Marks and Spencer's. Martha was convinced that Mary wasn't serving Jesus by sitting at his feet. And she thought that if she went and pointed that out to Jesus, that she needed help, that he would recognize this and tell Mary to go and help. But Jesus saw things differently. To everyone else, it would probably have appeared that Martha had a real servant heart. But Jesus recognized that she was worried and upset over all the distractions. She wanted to impress Jesus and the guests. Her reputation and that of her family, she thought, was at stake. But Jesus lovingly told her that sitting listening to him was much more important. He was only going to be there for a short time, and he pointed out that Mary had chosen the one thing worth being concerned about. Jesus wasn't blaming Mary for being concerned about her work. In fact, he loved to commend people who worked hard. In the book of James, we read that faith without actions is dead. Jesus pointed out that on this occasion, Martha's heart and attitude were not in line with God. She had lost her joy. I'm going to tell you a story. Most of you would have known my mum, Patty, and as she grew older, I spent a lot of time with her. Mostly things went really smoothly. She was great. But one thing which got me really uptight was when, having spent ages cleaning up her kitchen, and then maybe left to go home for a little while, she would decide to bake. Now, cleaning up after my mum's baking was anything but straightforward. She'd accidentally turned the beater up to max, and the walls, the tiles, the doors, you name it, could all have batter or dough on them. The worktops were littered with ingredients and dishes, and the sink would be full to the brim. And by the time the baking was in the oven, my mum was too tired to clear up, and she happily went off for a rest. This you might find hard to believe, but it caused a few rows. And I used to tell her it wasn't fair, and she shouldn't bake. And then I realised I was wrong. My attitude was wrong, and my heart. God challenged me and made me realise I needed to change. I suggested to Mum that maybe 1 or 2 days a week that she and I could bake together. She would be able to do her beloved baking, and I could supervise the mixer and clean up all as we went along, resulting in a nice, clean kitchen and some delicious goodies at the end of it. Mum was really happy, and I had found my joy again, my joy in serving. I'm just going to finish with a verse from Matthew 5. "Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven." Hope you have a joyful day serving our great God with joy. Thank you.